So, is PhD worth it? In this video, I want to explain why I wish I never did my PhD, and also answer the question of whether it's worth it, and explain why it's usually not. But also help you make the most of your PhD if you've already started. Maybe you're feeling a bit lost and anxious and uncertain about the future. And the advice in this video will be very practical, based on my experience and straight to the point. Unlike some of the vague advice online, so they talk about things like, are you ambitious? Are you a good problem solver? None of that in this video. I just want to focus on very specific and practical aspects that will help you decide and help you plan your career. So let's get straight to the point. Is PhD worth it? Financially, just so you know, PhD does not guarantee you anything. It doesn't guarantee you money and it doesn't guarantee you a job. And that's very important. So yes, those who do work in either in a job that closely matches their qualification or builds on that qualification, or they work in academia, they do tend to earn good money. So there is no denying here. So they do tend to earn good money. However, the problem is that you don't always get a job that matches that qualification. You don't always get a job in academia. So let's talk about that. In fact, let's start with academia. Academia, or staying in academia and building a career in academia in a university, is the only scenario where you actually have to have a PhD. So just so you understand that. That's the only scenario where you have to have a PhD, and in fact it's very difficult to build a career, to get a job in academia if you don't have a PhD. So that if that's something that you're considering, if that's something you're really passionate about and determined to pursue this career in academia, that's the only scenario where at least that question is something you can already take off, because you know you need to have a PhD to enter this career. However, I want you, if that's the case, if you're 100% sure that you want to work in academia and that's the whole reason you want to do a PhD, I want you to at least plan it very well and consider several factors and consider the nature of this environment or this academic landscape. So firstly, hopefully you do understand just how competitive academia is, and that's very important to understand. It's not simply that you graduate with a PhD and you get a job, and you're probably gonna get a job in academia. And that's in fact how I felt when I was starting my PhD. I felt that surely having a PhD gives you a job in academia because it's a PhD. So that was a huge mistake, and that was a huge assumption that I shouldn't have made. So just so you understand, the number of graduates is far higher and bigger than the number of jobs in academia, which is hardly surprising, but you just have to think about it. And then if somehow you do get a job in academia, and I hope you will, if that's something you're hoping or you're planning to do, you also have to understand that it doesn't happen that straight away or overnight you're becoming this full-time lecturer. Again, there are different paths, different situations, and I hope it will turn out very well for you. But more often than not, it requires, so to get this proper job that you're probably dreaming about, it will take several years, sometimes more. It will take plenty of effort, and it will involve a long period of working in different jobs, different positions that are paid much lower than probably what you're hoping for. So if you're checking how much do lecturers or academic employees earn in the UK in 2024, or you're just trying to understand it and Googling things like that, remember that you're not reading about the position that you're probably going to you will end up having. So you'll probably work in lower paid, smaller part-time positions, and unfortunately it's very common that this continues for 5 years or 10 years or more. So it's very difficult to build. It's a very long-term investment, a very long-term process to build a career in academia, to climb that career ladder. So just so you know, that's one thing to really consider. And this kind of touches on another point I would just briefly mention because it's pretty obvious, but you have to have time. So remember about time. Again, if you're in a rush to start earning money, maybe you're hoping to start a family, maybe you're planning to pay off your debt, your mortgage or something, then again, just think carefully and think twice, basically, because it's a long process. You're not getting that job anytime soon. Again, I know that it may happen, but I'm just talking about general trends here. But now let's leave the academic sector and think about other possibilities, other careers. So you may think that if you don't get a job in academia, then you may just get a job elsewhere, or the other way around. So maybe you're planning to get a certain job. If it doesn't work out, you'll probably still get a job in academia. And again, it's kind of it reminds me of what I was thinking, because it's kind of what I was thinking if I was thinking anything. My decision to do that PhD was made very quickly, and I really didn't think about it that much. I really didn't spend anywhere near enough time exploring these things and researching these things. So that's why I'm really hoping that this video will help you. But this is not to say you can't do what I just described. So you may be applying for jobs. If it doesn't work, maybe you'll get a job in academia. Quite often people from academia get a job elsewhere. Yes, this does happen, but I would not base my whole idea of a career or my plan for a career on such assumptions. So do you want to get a job in academia, or do you want to get a job elsewhere? And if you want to get a job elsewhere, just so you know, very often PhD is not required. And in fact, having a PhD quite often is seen as an obstacle. So that's another thing which may feel or sound a little bit ironic or surprising, but that's just what it is. So quite often the employer will not want your PhD, will not want the employee to have a PhD for several reasons. So for example, they may fear that you'll leave them eventually, you'll look for another job. They may feel like you may have certain habits and certain knowledge that is not what they do in that sector, in that industry. You may feel like you know it all, and you're better than somebody else. But most importantly, you probably don't have enough experience if you have a PhD, and that's crucial. In many jobs, across different sectors, the most valuable candidate for a job is the candidate with some experience. So very often this means they have lower qualifications, and quite often it's a master's, for example, but that's combined with certain qualifications, some additional qualifications or courses or training, or additional experience. So maybe they've done some internships, or maybe they just had a brief experience working in that industry. And in fact, this was what I was finding constantly as I was searching for different positions outside academia, because I didn't really like it in academia. I was lucky to have several research assistant positions, but I decided very early that this is just not for me. And again, like I said, because I assumed that it was for me, in fact, and that was my kind of a plan to stay in academia, it turned out to be a big problem. So I started to look elsewhere, and I realized I know nothing about that industry, anything outside academia. I know nothing about it. I had zero clue about the job market, and I was gradually firsthand learning about all these obstacles that I'm telling you about. So my advice is to look through the different advertisements and just try to understand if there is a specific job that you're kind of hoping to get. Try to understand what it is that they are looking for. Are they even asking for a PhD? And you'll see that it's pretty rare, in fact, to ask for a PhD. Then again, it depends. If we're talking about a doctor or a surgeon, then I'm guessing they probably are asking for a PhD. And this is the case with some other jobs, so very highly specialized jobs like in the medical profession, or maybe physicists, people working for NASA. I'm just guessing, I have no idea, but it kind of feels this way. In which case, it's usually similar to what I said about academia. It's almost a natural thing to get a PhD, and you're quite likely to, in fact, get a job in that sector, in that industry, because they recruit straight from the university. This is how it works. But then if you think about other fields and areas like social linguistics and this kind of thing, and social studies, social science, this is the tricky part. Mainly this is the tricky part because there are plenty of specialists, including myself, who have knowledge about things like identity or migrant identity, teacher identity. But then if you think how it translates to the actual job, then it turns out all of a sudden to be a problem, because what exactly are you hoping to do with that knowledge and that expertise? So as I said, I would really try to get a feel of what are the required or expected or demanded skills and qualifications, and try to build your portfolio, your CV around these skills or qualifications. And very often it makes much more sense to have a master's with these additional qualifications than to have a PhD, just because obviously it's much cheaper, it won't take nearly as much time, and like I said, ironically, a PhD sometimes may actually get in the way. And I feel like now looking back, I feel like masters is just such an amazing and brilliant qualification to have, because it builds that knowledge, it builds that foundation for everything that is to follow. But then you can enhance it with very specific skill sets. You can do additional trainings, you can gain additional work experience, you can do some sort of an internship. So that's a perfect combination of theory and practical knowledge. But as I mentioned, if you're already doing a PhD, then of course you can still plan your career in such a way that you'll probably be a more attractive candidate for your future employer. And as I said, and hopefully that's what you've guessed from what I said so far, you may start looking around for these additional opportunities as well. Maybe do some internships or just start to explore the sector a little bit more, try to understand, get a feel for what they are looking for. Just to understand that just having that PhD is definitely not going to guarantee you anything. And that's again another mistake that I made. I did no such thing. In fact, I felt like when I was presented with the opportunity to have some internship or something along those lines, I felt like it's basically trying to take advantage of me, because of course I have PhD, so why would I work for in a low paid position or work without getting paid? Now I understand that these are the opportunities to build that experience that you're eventually you'll find that eventually that you're lacking. And that's also the reason why I regret doing the PhD. I just know that there were so many other ways in which I could have structured and built my career. And yes, I eventually sort of made it in the way that turned out well for me, but it's not a good reason to do a PhD. So just because I kind of figured out the way around these obstacles is definitely not a reason to do a PhD, because I can see now, looking back, I can see so many better scenarios for how I could have built the same knowledge and the same experience, but just quicker. Like I said, my decision was extremely rushed. I was just told that I should probably consider doing a PhD, and by the way, the deadline is tomorrow. So that's what I did. I just applied and I never looked back. I had no idea about anything that what I was getting into, and I was completely unprepared. I feel like I wasted a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I feel like this could have been handled so much better. And also, not having that PhD would have given me so many other possible directions to look for, as opposed to having that PhD where you kind of feel like you're obviously not going to change the direction now, since you've invested 5 years of your life or more, and also as well as a lot of money. So it also kind of restricts your options eventually. So that's about it. To summarize, PhD is definitely not for everyone, and I would definitely discourage you from doing a PhD unless you have a very strong idea for why you want to do it, who exactly you want to work as. That's probably the key thing. You have to have an extremely good idea and understanding of a very specific position that you're hoping to achieve, to get a job as in the future. Otherwise, don't even start doing a PhD if you don't have such clarity, because just thinking I'll probably stay in academia and do some academic stuff, or maybe I'll go outside academia and probably do something with my skills there, is definitely nowhere near specific enough. So you have to have a very clear idea. So that's it. I hope it did not sound too negative. It probably did, but if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. Any insights are welcome as well, your own experiences. I'd love to hear that. Have you had similar experience to me? Otherwise, please like the video and share it with others, especially if you know people who can benefit from it.